Hello, 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 Creative Tartanites. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I do hope you are having a very pleasant day today. I am coming to you live in my studio and I'm just rambling a little bit until I can see if there's anybody coming in. Now, today I am going to stray off the path a little bit. Hello, Laura, how are you doing? Hello, Mona. Hiya. I'm so sorry, everybody, that I'm late. Sometimes, as you know, life can kind of get in the way. And this isn't my full-time job, unfortunately. So therefore, sometimes my life does kind of get a bit hectic. Anyway, hello, Angie. I hope you're having a good evening. So today I am going to be demonstrating some beginner embroidery. Now, this is specifically with the Creative Tartanite Tribe Challenge for November in mind. I have made exclusively available the following pattern. I'm going to show it on screen now. Hopefully you guys can see that. And that is the pattern that I'm going to be using. As I said, it's exclusively available for the Creative Tartanites in our tribe. Mona has just kindly shared the link in the comments. Now, I'm not going to complete this project because it is going to take a while to do the full thing. But what I am going to do is I'm going to demonstrate a small amount of it with all the stitches that you will need to do to complete the project. So I think there's about 4, maybe 5 stitches, if that. I'm going to demonstrate how to do that. I'm also going to show you how to get the pattern onto the material. So first things first, I've got a dilemma. I don't know what colour of linen to use. Now I've got a nice little powder pink, I've got a kind of cream, I've got a more of a kind of light tan, and I've got a blue colour. I'm kind of heading towards the pink. I really like the pink. So which cloth do you think I should be using? So you can use any kind of cloth. I've kind of got linen, and I have, Mona says the pink. Any advances on the pink? I have a hoop, an embroidery hoop. The size, now I can't remember what size it was. I measured it as well. Let me get my ruler and I'll measure it again. I think it was about 6 inches. Yes, it's a 6-inch hoop. So hoop, material, you'll need needles. It doesn't have to be embroidery needles. I just bought some embroidery needles just because they were only £1.10, so they weren't that expensive. So I've got a couple of votes for the pink, and Laura's saying it depends on the thread colours you're going to use. Ordinarily, I would say yes, but the colours that I'm going to use will match all. It'll go with all 4 different colours. They're very basic colours. I'm not going too fancy, so it's actually going to suit any of the material. So I'm going to go with the pink because I think given that the background on this is pink, I think I'll go with the pink. So there are different ways in which you can transfer it. You can either put something on the back of the paper, then place the paper down and then draw around the pattern, or you can either put it up against a window or a light box. Now I'm going to be moving the camera very shortly. I'm just going to get my light box out first because I do happen to have a light box. I use my light box for more kind of graphic design, line work and all that kind of thing. So let me just Let me just grab my light box. Now this light box is fabulous because it's nice and big. It's this size. It's a nice big light box, so it gives me plenty of room. Now this is going to maybe be a bit bright on camera, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to plug it in because it's a USB. So again, that's very handy. There we go. There we are. Right, okay, so now that we've got that set up, let me just quickly grab my camera. I'll do the usual. Oh, thank you, Mona. Mona's saying that she's really loving the background portrait. I have, good news is I have actually, there we go. Excuse the mess on my desk. Oops. There we are. Hopefully, come on, come into focus. It's because it's bright. So I'm going to do first and foremost is I'm actually going to cut the material. So I'm going to make sure that there's plenty of space. And I'm just going to cut up using the pattern as a bit of a guide. So that should be enough, because we want it to be able to fit into our hoop with no particular problems. So hopefully that should do it. Yep, that should be fine. So you place your pattern either on a light box or up against the window. It does the exact same thing. It basically shines the light through. Now I'm going to have to okay, that's annoying. It's a little bit it's a little bit less than I was anticipating. Right, I think that's probably the best as I'm going to get it. It's not quite as see-through as I was anticipating. Normally when it's really dark, you can actually see through it. So what I think I might do very, very quickly is I might darken up these lines. So I'm not really wanting to draw on my light, but I guess it doesn't really matter because I would be drawing on it anyway. So I'm going to go over my lines and see if that makes any difference. Let me have a look. Yep, that's making a little bit of a difference. It's really just the face lines that I want, because it doesn't really matter too much. But it's the face lines that I'm really struggling to see. And we'll put in this one as well. Maybe this one and this one. So if you come across the same problem, just darken your lines. This is printed out really very light. I will look up in a second and see if there's any comments. Now you can see that I'm just rushing this a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because this is just a guide, really. So there we go. That should help me to see the face a little bit better. Who would have thought, eh? Right. Oh, Angie says she's got 2 thumbs up. Right. There we go. So that's a little bit better. I have this. It is an air erasable pen. The ink is non-toxic and soluble. It can be removed by soapy water. But it also, apparently, according to the package, will disappear. I don't know whether to shake it or not, but I'm going to give it a shake just in case. It's supposed to disappear after 24 to 48 hours. So, yeah, here's hoping that I can actually do the whole thing before it disappears. Okay, now I've kind of there we go. I've researched this, and as far as I can tell, now where did that go again? Yeah, it's fine. As far as I can tell, at a push, if you're really struggling, you can actually use a pencil. It would need to be a very sharp pencil so that you're getting thin lines that's going to be covered by the thread, because pencil isn't so easy to remove. There we go. I'm taking my time a little bit more with this. Let me remind me where everything is. So that's okay, that's fine. Like I said, this is there we go. There we are. So our nose is just a little bit flat, I think. So I'm just going to, there we go. It's a little bit better. And as I said, it should erase itself. So all is good. There we are. And we'll just pop in that there. There we are. Then another flower here. I'm probably not getting the exact flowers, but that's fine. I'm actually not that fussed. There we go. Now, I think that was all the... There we are. I think that was all the big flowers. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. And the rest is just the stems. Like so. And that, as you can see, is it transferred. So you just need to make sure that your lines are dark enough to be able to shine through the material. And I'm going to switch this off. I'm going to pop this to the side, and I'm going to remove this and pop it away. Oops, crash bang wallop. And I really must remember that for some reason it's on the mic on my camera, and my camera is right next to me. So I'm going to try not to project my voice as I normally do. Is everybody hearing me okay? There isn't any issues or... Right, let's see who's come in. Hello, Helen. Helen, has Helen come in? Where did Helen come in? Oh, there we are. Helen says, good evening, guys. I see you. Hello. It's not distorting or anything because I'm speaking too loud. Right, let's... Oh, that's not helping either, is it? It's a little bit... Aha, that's better. That's better. There's less glare. Sounds fine. Fabulous. Okay, guys. Right. So let me put my... I'll put that there. And let me bring this down here. Now, as I said, I've got my embroidery hoop here. So let me take this out like so. And let me get this positioned nicely. Nope, that needs to be further up there. Is that better? I do believe that might be... Whoops. Come on. There we go. And then you just slip it on. And so just making sure that that's tight. Pulling it gently. And then I'm going to tighten that up. So it doesn't need to be tight like a drum, but tight enough that it's going to make life easier for you. So there we go. I'll just tighten that up some more. There we go. That's it. So you can see it's not too tight, but that should help me to get the thread. So it's looking not too bad so far. The nose, you can see that it's a little bit skew with, but that's fine. As I said, that the marker will come off, so it should be absolutely fine. Now I have some colours here, and do you know, I was going to use black, but I see that there is a nice anthracite grey, and I think I'm going to use that for the line work rather than the black. I'm going to use possibly the dark green, and I might actually put in a couple of the light green. And would you believe I don't have any white? I thought I had white. No, no, no. We'll just have to have yellow daisies. It's meant to be white daisies, but we'll just have to have yellow daisies. I can't believe I don't have any white. I thought there was white in this packet. Never mind. Right. So, now, I've got different yellows. I think that's the same yellow as that. Yeah. And I've got the kind of goldy. So, right. There, I've picked my colours. As I said, I've got hand needles, embroidery needles. The reason why you have specific embroidery needles is these ones here actually have a wider eye to allow you to thread the needle easier. And if you can get the pigging things out, it would help. Right, come on. I think that's... I'm not sure if it's 2 of each size or if it's different sizes. That looks the same size. So I think it's 2 of each size. So I'm just going to pop that back in. And then you've got the smaller ones at the end. I'm kind of thinking maybe, ow, right. I want to use this one if I can get it threaded. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny hole, but I think this one's, the eye's going to be too big and it's going to leave too big a hole. So that's why I'm going to try that one. Now, my understanding is that the rule of thumb with regards to picking this and taking a bit off is that you don't have it too long, because otherwise it just ends up getting all tangled. So I'm pretty sure that my mum said from kind of the fingers to the elbow, so that kind of length in the first instance. So let's try it. Let's try that. Let's see how we go with that. And then you should be able to see that if I bring it up here, is it going to focus? There we go. Nope. Come on. There we go. No. You split the threads and it's not wanting to focus. So can you see that it's split? And I'm going to pick 4. Is it 4? No, 3. Because it's 6. 6 strands per floss. And I'm going to pick 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3. So that gives us two lots to work with. Now this is where I better watch that I don't swear live on YouTube, because I'm going to thread my needle if I don't drop it. Talk amongst yourselves. This might this might take a while. I may have to go to the bigger one. I don't have a needle threader. Okay, and take a deep breath. Nope, I may have to use the bigger one. Don't want to, but I may have to. Yep, that's going to irritate the living daylights out of me. If you have a needle threader, it's much easier. Okay, I'm supposed to be doing a YouTube demonstration, but if I can't get my needle threaded, how on earth am I going to do it? That is the big question now. Hey, done it! Albeit it's a bit, oh no, I haven't done it. Oh no! I haven't done it. Right, try the other end. I had 2 strands through, but not all 3 of them. I really don't know how folk do it. I'm usually quite good at getting needles threaded, but this is just not wanting to do it for me tonight. Right, let's see. Oh, this is going to... It's going to annoy me. Yeah, Laura, that's a good suggestion. That's exactly what I'm trying. I've got 2 of them through again, but just not that third one. Oh. Okay. Anybody want to take any bets as to how long it actually takes me to thread this needle? Is that all 4 through? I do believe I've done it. Yay! Woohoo! I've got it. I've got it. I have managed to get all 4 bits through. So now I'm going to just wrap it round and then kind of roll it off my finger, and that gives me my knot. Can you see that? So that's my knot. And then I am going to find the top of the hair here, and I'm going to pull the thread through. And then I'm going to go, now hopefully you guys can see this, I'm going to go down, oh, and get caught up in things. Watch you don't get your thread tangled and everything. So a little bit down. And now there are 2 ways that you can do this. You can either do this as a back stitch, so bringing this, oops, back up through like so, and you can either put it back down here or halfway here, but I think I'll just do the back stitch. So going back down like so, and then I'm going to bring it along a bit, and then I'm going to bring it back down where the other one came up. So basically you end up with a running stitch but without the gap. So can you guys see that okay? You're coming up a little bit forward, and then you're going back down where the other one went down. And that gives you a line. That's a back stitch. So that's one of the stitches. Now, considering how long it took me to thread this needle, I think I will continue to do this back stitch until I get to the end of my thread. Is there any questions? So Helen says that she saw something where you lay the thread on a toothbrush, then place the needle over it. It works. Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I think I might just invest in a needle threader. Because that seemed to take me what seemed like forever. So you just keep going along, and that's your back stitch. One of those life hack channels on Facebook. Ah, right. It's interesting. I never usually have quite so much bother with threading a needle. I suspect it's probably because I'm live on YouTube. So the naughty fairies are about pulling at the thread. That's what I think. So who fancies giving this a go then? Who's going to get their embroidery hoops, or have I just totally put you off with not being able to thread my needle? This is actually very therapeutic, very relaxing. Despite the fact that I'm live on YouTube, I'm really enjoying this. Keep going. Almost there. Right. Right, one more, I think, and then that's, I think I'll leave that one there because that's a natural place to stop. Because then what I'll do is I'll get another bit of grey and I will start from here and I will go all the way around the face and up to there. So I'm just going to, I've taken it off the needle. Oh! That's looking pretty cool, isn't it? Looking pretty cool. A little bit of a squint part there, but nah, it's fine. Absolutely fine. Right, so that is the back stitch. I'm going to use the back stitch on the stems as well. And I'm going to show, because all the line work is going to be back stitch. The nose, the eyes, the mouth, everything is going to be back stitch. The only different stitches are going to be the flowers. And there's two different ways of doing the flowers. So, oh, excuse me. Let's see. Right. That's that. Let me, oh, come on. Right. We'll try and pop that through. Ah, great. That's going to irritate the living daylights out of me, so I'm just going to take it off. Right, so same rule, down to the elbow and cut. And then I'm going to separate them into 3. And then I'm going to try like a bear to actually thread this needle better, or quicker even. No, let's have none of it. Ha ha! Ha 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 ha! I've got it! I've got it! I've got it! That was a little bit quicker. Now the same again. I'm just going to wrap it round my thumb, my finger once, and then I just kind of roll it off my finger, and that just kind of gives me my knot. So it gives me the knot. So I'm going to show you one way on this flower here. So you bring it up on one side of the, now this is called the lazy daisy stitch, one side, and then you put it down the other, trying not to get stuck in any loose threads that are around, and then you bring it up. Now I don't know if you guys can see that, but you're bringing it up at the top like so, and then you're bringing it, putting it down. So you've caught the thread, and you bring the thread down like so, and that gives you your stitch. So again, one side, bring it up. Now you can see that this is getting caught, so I'm just trying to get it out of the way. So up there, this is a slightly narrower stitch, and you're bringing it up at the tip, and you're bringing that like so, and then you're putting it down at the tip, and that catches. There you go, and that catches that like so. Well, it would if I could get it to sit right. So let me just, there we go. I think that's it. I'm going to do the same again here. I'm going to bring that up going to catch the loop. Oh, that's too far now. Oh, come on. There we go. And then back down. So that's giving you your daisy. Any questions? Ah, now she can see it. That's fine. Fantastic. So I'll bring it up to the, so I'm bringing it up on one side of the petal, and then I'm putting it down the other side of the petal. Then I'm bringing the needle up at the tip. I'm catching the loop like so, pulling it tight, but not too tight so that it doesn't go too small. And then I'm bringing it back down like so. I'll do that again. So bringing it up, bringing it down, tip of the petal, and then catching the loop, pulling it tight, and then putting it down like so. I'll do that again. So one side of the petal, other side of the petal, the tip of the petal, catching the loop without twisting it, pulling the loop tight but not too tight, and then putting it down like so. Any questions? Yeah, it's a fun stitch. So let me just see if I can get this flower done. I suspect I'm going to run out of thread. So I may have to leave this one, but we'll see. See if we can get. I think maybe what I might do is I might just make this one more petal rather than two more. And I'll just ignore my lines because they will come off. Right, come on. There we go. There we are. So like I said, that is the Lazy Daisy stitch. And then I'm just simply going to knot this off in here. Right. There we go. There, that's it. Is it knotted? Now, I've been using my big scissors, but I do actually have little scissors, so I think I'll just use my little scissors for the back here. So that's that. That's that stitch. The other way to do it is the satin stitch. Now, let's see if I can get this needle threaded a bit quicker again this time. I just hope you guys can actually see. Nope. Right. Aha. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I'm getting good at this. Mona says we can see if we get the right settings on the video. Right. So now for the next stitch, which is a satin stitch. So I'm just going to pick a petal and I am simply going to run the stitch backwards and forwards until I fill the space. Like so. I think I'll do that. And I'll bring that up to there, I think. And that's one petal done. As you can see, I'm not particularly good at this one, but that's okay. You don't have to be perfect. Flowers aren't perfect at the end of the day, are they? Just need to try and fill it as best as you can. I think that this is maybe struggling a little bit because it's very small petals and I'm really not, I'm a beginner at this. But can you see that it's starting to, you're getting little petals. And then I'll finish off this petal here. Like so. And as I said, this is called a satin stitch. Now, if you can't see this particularly well, feel free to look up satin stitch if you need a better look. There. And that is that one. So I'm going to knock this off here. It's not very neat, but it doesn't have to be. This is your project. So long as it's done with love. I'm hoping to give this one as a Christmas present. So there you have it. There's the petals for the flowers. And I'm just going to use the satin stitch to do the green part underneath, and then do the running stitch to do the stalk, the stem. Now you'll see that I haven't actually put on the little dots here, but I'm just going to, once I've done all the other flowers, I'm just going to add them from what would look good on the actual thing itself, and then add the stalk in for those particular flowers based on where I decide to put them. So that's that. There's one last stitch that I want to show you, and I hope I can do it. It is the dreaded French knot. So, right, okay. So, to my elbow, separate, whoops, dropped it. There we go. Almost. No. Nope, that's not it either. Oh, just as I was bragging about getting good at it too. Just as I was bragging about getting good at it. Right, I think what I'll do is I'll maybe cut it. That sometimes helps. There we go. Got it. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. Right. Again, I'm going to put in my knot. So Laura, she does cross stitch. I do cross stitch. I like cross stitch as well. I really like cross stitch. Okay, so with this flower, I'm going to bring up my needle, and then I am going to wrap it once, wrap it twice, and I'm going to put it down through, and if I can catch my needle, there we go, here it's here, and then you pull it down. Hey, I've done it! Ah, how cool is that? Oh, it's gone out of focus. There we go. So pull it up, wrap it twice, keep a hold of the wrap, and then pull it through. There we go. Any questions? The dreaded French knot. So I'll bring it up. I'll wrap it twice. I'll put it down through and pull it. I keep catching my needle on the other one. And just keep doing that until it's full. Right, so bring it up, catch it, wrap it twice. And pull it down. I think the trick is to make sure that you're pulling and keeping it tight, but not too tight that you can't get it through. And then that way it doesn't loosen. So bring it up. I'm holding it between my finger and thumb, and I'm holding the thread so it doesn't move, and then eventually letting go. So we'll maybe do a couple more. 2 and back down. Like so. Maybe one more here. So wrap it, 1, 2, put it back down and pull it through. And I think one last one here, and then that's the inside of my flower done. 2. And that gives us the inside of my flower. How neat is that? So there you go. That's it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. That's not good. Okay, that's not helpful, because that's not really leaving enough. Huh. Okay. I might have to fix that at some other point. I may need to do that one again, but it's fine. I've just got myself all tangled. This is why you shouldn't really leave things loose. Just got it all tangled. But what I might do is I might just put my needle, thread this back onto my needle, and then kind of knot this tight somewhere. And then that shouldn't come out, and then I'll just snip it off. Or I'll just snip it and take this off and start again. But there you have it. There is all the stitches you're going to need to finish this project. Yes, you're right, Laura. It is fixable. Yeah. Oh, bless. Thank you. Rachel says I missed it. Oh, never mind. You can always watch on the replay, Rachel. So that is how you do it. I really hope you have enjoyed. Those of you who've managed to catch it, I hope you've enjoyed watching. I'm just going to pop the camera back just to say cheerio and answer any questions that you might have. Okay, there we go. So there you have it. Hiding, Rachel, and being quiet as well. So there you go. I hope you have enjoyed. I think this is going to be lovely. It's not perfect. I don't claim to be an expert embroiderer, but I've had a lot of fun, and it's I do hope that, oh, hang on, bring it down just a tad. There we go, that's better. I'm not cutting off the top of my head anymore. Oh, the bottom of my head, should I say. Right, did you draw on your fabric? Yes, I did. I used an air erasable pen. So that should come off of the cloth in the next sort of 24 to 48 hours. So I am probably going to spend some time after I go off air doing some more of it and seeing how much of it I can get done. I might actually just leave it until tomorrow and just get wired in about it tomorrow morning. That'll be my project for the day. I've really I found that really beneficial, actually, sewing. Once I got over the frustration of not being able to get the needle threaded as easily. Yeah, I think I'm going to invest in a needle threader because that is annoying. Any questions? Rachel says, better stitch quick. Rachel says that she needs to finish her cross stitch. Yes, you do. Mona says there are videos on YouTube how to thread a needle easily. Yes, there are. I don't usually have so much bother. I don't understand why I've had so much bother tonight. It's probably because I'm live on YouTube, and it's those YouTube gremlins, just to give you all a laugh. But that's fine. I'm quite happy with giving you all a laugh. So just to recap, this has been a demonstration for the Creative Tartanite Tribe Challenge. The pattern that I have used is my own design, and it is exclusively available to Creative Tartanites only that are a member of the Creative Tartanite Tribe. Mona did share the link a number of times. I believe she's just shared it just a couple of minutes ago. So if you have enjoyed this video and would like to come and hang out with us and find out other people's inspirations, just the other thing that I should have probably mentioned at the beginning is that the challenge, although it is embroidery, if you don't want to do the embroidery, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to. The design is called Boronia. Now, Boronia, she was a Roman goddess according to ancient Roman religion, and she was associated apparently with wildlife, fertility, health, and abundance. So that's kind of cool. And apparently her festival is on the 13th of November. It was the drawing itself that kind of gave me that kind of goddess Romanesque kind of feel at the end. And so I did a little bit of research and came across a goddess that I'd never heard of before, which was Boronia. Now, I'm assuming that that's how it's pronounced. It's certainly spelled F-E-R-O-N-I-A. And so that is where Boronia comes from. Now, the challenge itself, if you cannot do embroidery for whatever reason, you don't want to do it, you can't do it, that's absolutely fine. Do whatever project you want to do. You can draw, you can paint, you can do cross stitch if you'd rather do cross stitch than embroidery. I'm hoping that you will join in the embroidery just because, you know, that is what the challenge is. But this is not it's not compulsory. You don't have to do the embroidery if you either can't or don't want to. There's no judgment at all or whatsoever. And I would like Mona to now please share her link to her video that she's done, because it is the perfect example of her taking my embroidery idea and my design and putting her own stamp on it. She has done an absolutely fantastic job, and if you haven't already seen it, please go watch it. It's totally amazing. I'm going to be sharing the link in the group on Sunday because in the Creative Tartanite Tribe, I am going to start a new post every now and then on a Sunday. I'm going to post up something called Support Sunday. And that will allow members of the group to either post a link to a video that they have done that openly promotes the group, or that they want to ask questions, or they want to give suggestions of how they feel that the group can support them. The only links I'm afraid that I'm going to allow, though, are links to videos that are specifically shouting out the group, and it is videos of your project based on something that is in the group. So basically, we're helping each other. You're going to get to post the link in the comments, not in an individual post. And I think that is going to be helpful. So thank you. I've now been live for an hour and 15 minutes. It doesn't feel like it, I have to say. So thank you so very much. It has been an absolute pleasure. Mona says that she pronounces Boronia the same way. Fabulous. Yes, Mona's just reminding anybody who wants to have the pretty pattern, join the Creative Tartanite tribe. It is available exclusively to Creative Tartanites who are members of the Creative Tartanite tribe. Anybody who's watching this who doesn't want to join the group, that's fine. You can take inspiration from this pattern if you wanted to draw your own pattern based on this, that's absolutely fine too. It's just I've made the actual file itself available to create the Creative Tartanites in the tribe. That way they can just simply print it off and they don't have to worry about drawing anything. So thank you so very much. Is there any questions before I go? Very quickly. You're very welcome, Laura. Thank you very much for watching and hanging out with me. As always, it's been a pleasure. I realise for those who watch me because of the painting, I know this isn't painting, but every now and then I like to mix things up a little bit. I'm very eclectic. Mona says that there's no questions. Everything has been clear. Thank you. All right. Well, you take care, everybody. And don't forget, look after your mental well-being, because nobody else can. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.